We're gonna need a bigger extension. Wrong button. And I really wish I had somewhere, like, closer to stand for doing this part. I guess we can do turbo. We seem to miss a lot of bits with turbo, though. Just make sure to overlap it then, maybe. Oh, we're missing a ton of stuff. We're just too far away, even with the extra long and everything. It's just too far away. They just didn't give us a scaffold to stand on. We're just going to have to try and scratch our way at it. And just come back and... yeah, if we miss bits, we miss bits. We'll just have to pick up what we can by just going over time and again if we need to. Alternate left, right, up, down, X, Y, square. So I just want to be standing like there, up here, just have a scaffold there. I'm not missing anything. They literally have not given me a scaffold, have they? I mean, I've got this thing to climb on, but it's only so useful for so much. No, I don't see any scaffold. It's really annoying. Oh well. Less time complaining, more time cleaning. The turbo should help, but we do just have to take it nice and slow. Basically I have to do the same sort of elliptical movements even with the turbo just to make sure we still get coverage of things. Ultimately, we just need to do the obvious first, come back and tab the hell out of things if we need to. Just had to be rust, didn't it? We can stand it. Even this isn't really closer though, because we're just underneath it instead. Now we've just got an even worse angle at it too. But I guess on the plus side is we have a good angle to see the reflections of things, so we know what we've missed. So there's that. Just gotta get the reflection of the sun in just the right spot, and I can see the bits I've missed. All the better to target you with, my dear. These barnacles are gonna be so annoying. And I bet there's going to be a ton of the barnacles and stuff in the final map too. It's gonna make it even more annoying. A similar thing here, we can at least see the reflection. Actually, it's a little too much glare. It's also almost too far away for us to actually clean. There's an awkward seam that we seem to be missing. That or it's just too steep an angle for it to actually clean properly. I don't know what causes the rust to drip down like that, but like in that specific spot. Makes sense from the anchor hole. We just cannot clean that stuff up by the name there. So we're just going to have to do that from on high, I think. Probably shouldn't be trying to do that from that layer. This whole section should be done from this level. It's just tricky to get right to the end there. Feels like I shouldn't even need like the extra long extension for this bit. Ooh, we're sliding again. Don't even know what we're sliding on when we do that. I feel the short should be plenty for here. So we seem to be going anti-clockwise again. I started going clockwise on this, but then I got a bit distracted on the front. That's fine. We'll do this bit first, and then we'll go back the other side again. So honestly, I guess it makes a bit of sense to, given the angle that we have with our washer, it probably makes more sense to do anti-clockwise. I'm gonna guess the trim I'm gonna have to go underneath for. This rust is baked on. And that's probably part of the problem with the stuff that was up the front, is it wasn't just the distance, it was the fact that it's just really baked on there. Very ingrained. So we can get this close to it. What's up with these weird angles anyway? Why is there not like a little lip or something that stops me just walking off the edge? doing it in strips, basically. It's annoying that the hull itself is not sectioned up like the gunwale was. I've got to go all the way to the end and around the corner before it terminates. It's just halved. There's no like bow hull, aft hull. It's just port and starboard. Guess that makes some sense. I don't know, I kind of felt that there would have been a strut down here to break it up into port and to bow, and then the port, and then at the back have another bit just in front of where it curves, so you'd have a separate aft section. But what do I know? I should just be glad it's not just one big bit. At least it's sectioned in half by the keel. That's a start. And layered top to bottom. One thing's for sure, the percentage points are going to tick down much, or tick up much slower than they were doing. Good reflection here so I can see what I've missed. With a very deep shadow underneath it. This reminds me a bit of Assassin's Creed music. It was just from Pillars of Eternity. Ditto this one, to be honest. Actually, that little bit reminded me a bit of Halo more than anything else. Oh, it was just the end of that last one. Okay, gotcha. And now for something completely different from Cities Exile. keep seeing just little bits that I've missed out the corner of my eye. I don't know whether or not they'll really matter that much compared to the large amounts of stuff that I have definitely not done yet, but if I see them, I may as well clean them. It must just be the bit at the back now? Oh yeah. For some reason I thought I'd done a lot of this already, but I guess not. Yeah, distance must not have been the problem on the other end, because just the short is still getting it here. Just tenacious. It's just the angle too. Still a lot to do on the sport hull though. Not just the bits that are right in front of me. Like, it's not just a little sliver, there's actually quite a bit that's still outstanding. That's concerning. Oh, hang on. This bit is angled, and the whole angled bit underneath has not been cleaned. So there's the trim. But that would do it. Okay, well that was a big part of it, but it wasn't all of it. That's a shame. We'll try and do the trim on the way back around as well. So if I get the trim before the main hull, I'm going to be a bit annoyed. There's probably bits right up the top that I've missed more. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the trim didn't actually need all that much. In behind the rope bits, maybe? While I'm here, I think this could do with a bit of an extra rinse, because I only did the rinse from on top. I didn't come down and do it from the bottom, I don't think. So, what am I missing on the top part? So it looks pretty clean. No, okay. No, apparently not. Lots of bits that I can't really see with the naked eye, but are all going to be contributing factors. Their powers combined. And there is bits underneath where the rope is as well. Yeah, that's right there. We're just doing tab spam here. You get a bit of blinking along the bottom of the screen, but we just have to at this point because the bits that are still remaining on this hull section are not particularly visible to the naked eye. So, if it's gonna do me like that, I'm going to abuse the game mechanics in order to get everything clean. And it'll be all lots of bits at the front too, I'm guessing. Actually, it's not too bad up the front there now. So not quite sure what the problem is. Like, it feels like it's clean enough that it should just give me the ding. I'm not sure why it's so demanding on such a large feature. It doesn't feel like there's any large sections that I've missed. So it's just being pedantic at this point. Which is just a pain in the ass, quite frankly. Such a big thing already that you're making me clean. To be that picky about it is just annoying. There's probably just some sort of like overlap going on as well. It's really not much more that needs cleaning on this hull section. Very much a what more do you want from me sort of moment. Little bits around the outside of there, bit around the numbers. It's all very minor though. And then up here, there's a few bits and pieces, but the way that it's not giving it to me, it like feels that there should be something major that I've missed, but there isn't. There just isn't. It's like this on one of the upper sections as well. I guess this is the sort of nitpickiness that you wouldn't notice if you were using the other washers, probably, because it would have just been stuff that got picked up regardless. Ah, here we go, because we did the lower angle and the top angle, but there's the bit in the middle here that's just the, you know, the angle that you don't get. Okay, well I'll know that for the other side. I need to know that when I'm doing this ridge bit, I need to crouch down and get that as well. The fact that it kind of goes in just before the trim section, very, very annoying. Doesn't make much sense hydrodynamically either. Whatever. Let's clean off some of these barnacles while I'm here as well. We're going to need a better extension for this as well. Helps with not crouching there. Okay, well, onto the starboard hull. So we know now about that kind of bulgy bit. So we know what to be careful of when we get that far around. This section we're just going to go slowly over all this rust. Yay, 78%. Done like an extra 3% in like 20 minutes. That's what it feels like. Maybe I'll just do the rudder or something just to get a little bit of progress. Just to make myself feel better. Since I'm here anyway, eh? Why not? I'm not even going to bother doing yellow nozzle over over as a first run because it's just barnacles. Which are way worse even than rust, it seems. It's got to go so slowly across to clear them away. And probably stand closer as well, come to think of it. It's a repeller too, which I assume is probably rusty. At which point, just replace it. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better. That's a big difference. It makes sense to do this stuff when the other stuff isn't done because it's a backstop, like the hull is a bit of a backstop for anything that splashes off. Maybe from the other side, but still. Backside of the propeller done. I assume the propeller shaft is all... yeah, it's all part of the same bit. Doesn't distinguish. So we can get the bottom angle of these bits here. Yeah, it doesn't look like drive shaft is a separate piece, nor is the mounting bracket. Which means it's probably dirty on top as well, which I won't be able to get from down here. There's also the back side of the rudder. Which will also be dirty on top, probably. Not quite sure how I'm supposed to get that. What else have I got? Some of these back edges here. Bracket there. Okay, now. Base of the rudder here. Propeller feels really close, but still has a lot more to do in it than I would have expected. Which is kind of annoying. I'm guessing it must be on top. Oh, rudder. Let's try and get this one done. It's a small diversion from the hull parts just to feel a little bit better about myself. The anchor we're probably just going to leave till last. Because that was the other option, is to leave all this stuff till last. We were like 94% done on the anchor anyway, so it's just bits that I just need to tab spam from the front probably. Well, honestly, probably just get a bit of a higher angle on it than on what I was doing. This rudder is not nearly as finished as I would have hoped. What am I missing? I guess the top. Okay, well, if that's what it's going to make me do, then... What else is there on this? I feel I've done the bit up the top there. Oh, we'll do this bit of trim anyway, since I can see it from here. Is it just because of this bit here now? Oh, there's a lot more that's missing, it seems. Is it just stuff that looks clean but isn't? No, seemingly not. I'm so confused what there is left on the rudder that is not done. It makes no sense to me. It's not even ticking down when I go over this stuff. Yeah, it's not budging at all, so I'm not even cleaning anything that's missing, it seems. That's going down a little bit from here. Maybe just because it was the wrong angle or something? Apparently the wrong angle. Okay. Whatever. Propeller was the same. Maybe? Maybe not. I thought propeller was the same. Be cool if it span as I was spraying it. But of course the drive shaft should be locked. Oh well. From this side? Still doesn't seem to be cleaning anything extra. Nope. The amount of time you have to, there we go, the amount of time you have to waste on some of these things just to get them pushed over the line is absurd. I mean, we were hoping by doing those that, we'll pick up some quick percentage points because they're easier features to get than these big hull sections, and it just ends up being super tedious to get the last little bits of those. So we didn't really gain anything, I don't think. Never mind. Yeah, the reflections over the side are always really annoying. There's like a weird shadowing effect underneath the gunwale. Just makes it look dirtier than it is. But I can also see some little bits that I haven't done. Again, a spotlight would be nice. Okay, so that's where it's bulging a bit, so we know we need to crouch down to do that stuff, but we'll do here normally first. Actually, crouching down I can still... I need to go prone to do that bit along there, really. It's kind of absurd. But I can always do that and still do this. And the top of the ridge as well, looks like. Hopefully that means we won't have to just go hunting around so much. I preempted a bit. Once again, some of this stuff is just really tough. Take our time. This gets underneath where the rope is as well. We almost need to do that from the other side though. Okay, crawl our way along here. Well, this is probably stuff I can just yellow, to be honest. It's just I didn't get it on the initial rinse pass. Yeah, some rust. %! Yay! I just don't know where that amazing smell was coming from. Yeah. About that. It's cats in the marina have caught with too, yeah. So like I was saying before, the plot such that it is yeah, like this big island. I think it's basically like Atlantis. We'll be going there shortly. Spoilers, but we'll be getting there shortly. It's not hard to read between the lines of everything that's going on at this point in the game. Does everything but beat you over the head with it, really. I don't fully get the intricacies of everything that's going on, but I know that there's some sort of weird Atlantean stuff. Because that's what the whole thing in the desert was all about. Apparently they know how to stop volcanoes or something. I don't know, I guess they would have had to. Crawling on our belly this whole way along here. Mostly so we can do this a little bit in here, so if we do that now, then maybe we can stand up again. I think that's about where it finishes. Okay, so let's just stand up again. Gives us a much better angle for this part. We still keep missing bits on. This rust is so thick. Seems we didn't do the blue band up here. At least not the whole of it. I wonder if there's a reason they chose KM972 in particular. Keep missing little bits on this. Every time I think I'm going carefully enough, just little bits creep in between. It's going a little bit too fast, I think. We are rather impatient for this level to be over by this stage. It's overstayed its welcome quite considerably. And we've still got all the barnacles to look forward to. And I thought the subway was bad. It was, don't get me wrong, but this is shaping up to be comparable. We're much better positioned this side of the hull though than we were the last side. It's because we knew about that little sort of overlappy bit. Still doesn't actually look that clean. It looks like I've missed a lot. I don't know how much of that is just from weird shadows or reflections. Guess we'll find out. We'll at least do the bit around the anchor hole first. Then we can worry about chasing after bits I might have missed. So close. Come on. There's a bit on the other side as well. We're on the stairs now. trim is also not done yet, but I suspect I need to do underneath that. And there's just random bits around the names still. Okay. Yeah. Just random spicks and specks basically all over the place. There's a song about that. Bee Gees. They did a version of it. Tab spam. Which is a bit underneath the rope over here, which might be more to blame. Don't know if there's similar down the other end as well. No, not really. Okay, well, that's the easy bits done then, and it's still not giving it to me, so... Yeah, just lots of little rubbish pieces that you can't actually tell are not yet clean. Once again, just being tedious. Still little spots. Very spotty. Hey, finally. Good. Just by spraying indiscriminately over things that looked clean. Get there in the end. Probably the same deal with this, to be honest. I might actually have to go stand on top of this to clean it properly. Don't know what more else there is. Oh well. So, trim. Probably leave it on this. There we go, good. Trim the middle hull section, I feel is going to be the easier part to do. Comparatively speaking. Insofar as any of it's going to be easy to do because barnacles. And not only that, I bet even after I'm finished doing the barnacles, there's probably going to be just random bits that aren't quite clean enough. Just like with the top hull section. Already see some of them. So barnacles just got to go super slow over. Maybe turbo will help. Yay, more stuff that comes off with the yellow. Good. And now more barnacles. Okay, so this whole section is actually close to done already. The middle run really isn't as bad as the bottom. It helps it's not as big as the top either. I feel the keel will probably be the last thing to finish, that and the anchor. On the one hand, I want to get closer, but at the same time, I want to make sure I have a good angle on this stuff. Trim feels like it's not nearly complete enough. I mean, the hull itself is also not complete, turns out. Okay, what have I missed? Bits behind, I guess, maybe? Probably. Trim I've missed a ton of. On a different angle. Just This is such a pain. I don't believe that you would have such a thick trim going around the hull. It seems bizarre to me. And I can't tell what there is still missing on the hull part itself, really. The trim, I know that it's all this stuff under here now. As turns out, we've got to get it from this angle too. Totally makes sense. Don't know if it's the hull underneath these bits. Not that I can tell. Even with the turbo, it seems to not have been getting into that crevice there. It's really annoying. So what is there left on the hull? Ah yes, tedious little bits. I think I just move on, to be honest. Trim should be much closer to done as well, but apparently isn't. It's really annoying at this point, where it's just, oh, so what have I needed to do? Oh, can't tell. Like, honestly, really hard to tell. Okay, so the trim apparently bits along the top. Oh, and apparently that was the hull as well. Honestly, couldn't see it. Ditto the trim, it's just all these bits in the crevices apparently. And probably still from the other angle. The most that this trim bit should really stick out is just like a little semicircle. Shouldn't stick out so much that it actually has like angles around. Whatever, I guess we move on to this one. Let's just do the normal long instead, I guess. Hope we get a good enough angle on this stuff. So here we know that we're then going to have to go back to get a lower angle on the trim part for some stupid reason. Because we've got to get right in this crevice here, because apparently it wraps right around. And we have to be so far away from it just to get that angle. Or I guess up here-ish? But now it's too shallow an angle here to get the bit on the actual hull itself. We'll get the trim, but not the hull. And I thought I'd already gotten that angle to get it anyway, but whatever. And then we're going to have to look back from underneath to get the angle on the trim. I mean, this trim still isn't finished. Even though I have no idea what's still missing on it. Because it looks like there's a decent margin between the lower hull area and the trim itself, but it's still not clean. No idea. I'm just gonna have to tab spam the crap out of that one as well. Alright, well, let's just go back to where we were. Stop right-clicking whenever I move the mouse. So once again, the trim, I'm probably going to have to go up and get an angle to look down on the bottom of this. And then we've got barnacles here, so let's do shorted stitch. I should be doing just yellow over this sort of bit here anyway, where there isn't barnacles, because that should be plenty. Yeah, the amount of a lip that there is between the hull and the trim just feels like it creates a lot of unnecessary drag. Like, surely that would create a lot of turbulence through the water? Slowly shave away the barnacles. Oh wow, okay. Why were you so generous on this side and yet so demanding on the other side? What the hell? It had ages left. But the other side, it had me go right to the end and then go over and over and over again. That's... I mean, I'll take it. I just wish that it was the same on both. So much barnacles on the lower level there. Decent rinse on this bit at least. Gotta get right underneath here for the trim though. And more buttons. Okay. Why do you not clean the first time I went over you? Some weird things that go on sometimes with the cleaning. Even when it's a long nozzle or long extension, so it should have more power, it just... I don't know, sometimes seems to get confused. And then barnacles just basically just need to leave it sitting on turbo for ages as I just crawl along. Although they just don't seem to clean. Okay, so this trim bit still has a lot to clean apparently. So does the starboard one. See the barnacles on this bit. And presumably the top side too. Yep, okay. And it seems that the turbo is not actually cleaning it. Because I can still see bits over there. There we go. Just had to go really slowly. Same probably on the other side. So there's still some bits left like that. Or I could just fall down again, I guess. Again, why is there not just a little railing or something? There's still quite a lot left on the trim, isn't there? Presumably because I have to go down again. Oh yeah, there we go. I thought I'd done everything else though. Yeah, I did it along here. What's there left on that trim then? Oh, don't care. At this point, let's just do more of the hull. We'll just leave that till later. Whatever. Let's do a rinse over with this first, just to get this. So we know exactly the bits that we have to deal with. Try and get rid of everything that is not barnacles. Maybe that's where the trim is still dirty. Is it underneath the rope bits somewhere? Whatever. Well, it's exposed mostly just the barnacles now. Good morning, KCL1990. Welcome, welcome. You find us on the closing stages of this boat, but it's going to take a long time still. Because, funnily enough, boats are big. So what am I missing on that trim? That's really bothering me. I just don't get what is missing on this trim section. I don't see anything on the top side of it. I think we just have to stick with cleaning the whole section and just see where it comes out. Between that and the keel, I think, are going to be the most annoying parts to finish off. Let's just go back to the short extension for this. I'm able to stand close enough. Love this game, bought it on Switch so you can lay in bed and play it. Nice. Hope the controls aren't too bad. Yeah, I'm not sure about playing this with a controller. On the one hand, it would be nice for the movement. Like, instead of arrow keys to move, you'd have a thumbstick. It would be a lot smoother. But the aiming would be a lot harder. But I mean, you'd get there in the end. And usually you don't have to be quite so precise with the aiming. I mean, I'm having to be pretty precise because of what I'm doing with it. Like, I'm using only the basic washer to finish the career at the moment, and that means that I'm having to just use the red nozzle a lot, because the basic washer does not clean very well otherwise, so I have to be very precise. If you've got the better washers and have the grunt, then yellow, green sometimes nozzle is all you need, so you don't need to be as precise. So, Switch should probably be fine for that. I do have a Switch, but I already had this on PC for early access and stuff anyway, so I don't like buying games twice. I also barely play my Switch these days, so mostly got off at Animal Crossing and Pokemon, so I have been looking at what other games are on there that could be handy to just sitting on the couch. I think yeah, playing this with the basic Joy-Cons would be tricky as well. I hope you got good ones that don't have stick drift for a start. Because I like using the Pro Controller most of the time. Which I guess if you're using it in like tablet mode or whatever, then it would be fine. Having a bit on Switch or on PC to play PC, yeah, fair enough. I don't use handheld all that often these days. We don't actually use the Switch to take anywhere, we mostly use it just as a TV console. I've got a 3DS for handheld, which is old, but still works. So, and I've still got a ton of games that I haven't actually played on it yet. Like, I bought them and still haven't played. These barnacles are the worst. I don't even know how well they'd come off with, like, soap or anything either. Feels like they just still wouldn't shift. Just gotta work our way back and forward, take it slow, as steady as it goes. It looks like I'm barely moving on it, and that's because it just... I can see it slowly fade, like even a single pass isn't enough. I need to kind of overlap on the way back. just slowly erode. And even then I'm probably going to leave streaks behind. It's just going to be annoying to come back and pick up on. I was really hoping this would be a much faster level than it is. Severely underestimated how filthy a boat can get. Gotta say, once again, it does feel like they've kind of overdone it a little bit as well. It's like, okay, we get it. It's got barnacles, they're hard. Excuse me. Do you have to cover the whole hull with them? Be interesting to see how the PowerWasher handles this. I imagine it just blasts through with ease. Probably do have to go slightly slower. So I was hoping to finish this off without taking another break, but I almost feel like I might just have to take another break, the 90% mark. Because this is going to take a while. Oh, there's 90%. Speaking of, now, I really want to finish this trim bit off first, though. So I'm just going to look up and spam tab and see if I see anything as I go along. I'm really not seeing anything as I go along. The starboard hull trim bit is just not done yet. Anything here? I'm crawling along on my hands and knees, trying desperately to find anything that could be to blame for it to not being finished yet. And I'm still coming up with nothing. So I do not understand what it wants from me at this point. It must just be some tiny bit in the crevice. I'd really like to finish that before I take a break. We've already gone along on this angle before. What about from the back? I seriously swear sometimes that they just haven't playtested this properly to check that there aren't, like, small little bits that you struggle to clean. Because I'm not seeing anything on the starboard trim to explain it not being clean. It literally makes no sense to me at the moment. Like, all I can see is very tiny, tiny bits occasionally. Nothing that really stands out as to why it would not be clean yet. Because some of the elements, I've had a bunch of stuff left, very obviously. And it's just gone ding, and just let me get away with missing a ton of stuff, essentially. But then just some of these elements, they just go, no, you have to get every single little piece of grime or barnacle or whatever. It's just so inconsistent. That's the thing, is I love the game, but some of the aspects of the design just don't sit right, and just some of the inconsistencies just definitely don't stack up. Because it's like, at this point, how am I supposed to finish that? Because there is really nothing that I can see on this trim piece that is not finished. It just makes no sense, unless it is hidden behind something else, basically. The port one is finished. The starboard one is not. And I'm just not seeing any change in color when I hit tab. It's all just the stuff underneath. There's nothing in the bits on the end there. We're probably gonna just end up having that be the last thing that I need to clean, just because I can't see what still needs to be done. Which is really stupid. But whatever. Oh well, with that being said, I'm going to take a break now and be back in a few minutes, because yeah, this is gonna take a while longer, it seems.